Hey everyone, welcome back to Pine Hollow Auto Diagnostics. We got a beached whale Lexus today, TOPDON 2013 ES500, no, ES350. Owner tells me that he was driving, it started shifting weird, the check engine light came on, he got it home and then it wouldn't move forward or back. He said when you start it up, sometimes it moves back a little bit. He had a hard time loading it on a trailer to bring it here. So I want to see if I can get it in the shop. I already scanned it for codes. We'll take a look at those later. All kinds of pressure codes in the transmission. But when we start it up, I'll let you listen to it. Alright, so I'm going to start it up. I'm going to put it right in reverse. Hear that sound? We're moving. A little bit of forward motion. I'm going to coast it in the shop. But what does that tell you guys? That pump is starving for fluid. So what are the possible causes of a pump starving for fluid? Either low fluid level or a plugged up filter. This thing has 185,000 miles on it. I don't think the transmission fluid has ever been touched. So I told him there's no guarantees, but we're going to drain the old fluid out. I have a new filter on the bench. We'll take the old filter out. We'll measure the fluid, but there's no dipstick, so it'll be approximate. And hopefully we can get this thing back on the road today with minimal parts required. Alright, so this is the U660 transmission, 6-speed. Fill plug's right here, so I took that out, 24 millimeter. And the drain plug is also the level check plug that's underneath on the pan. So what we're going to do right here, it's a hex. So first you take the plug out. We'll see if anything drains out, if the level is above the little level tube. Then we'll take the level tube out, let it drain all the way, inspect the transmission fluid color. But do we see any leaks? Is this thing actually low in fluid? Perhaps. I see something dripping on the exhaust pipe. Let me take a closer look. Alright, here we go. 6 millimeter plug is loosened up. Let's see what comes out. I bet it's not going to be pretty. It looks worse than like diesel motor oil. So again, not sure if this transmission will come back to life, but there are no transmission fluid leaks. That's just an oil leak from the engine. So this filter seems like it's plugged up. If the fluid level is good, the filter is certainly plugged up, and if the fluid is this dark, there's definitely material in it. So this transmission's worn out. The fluid has never been replaced, and the only thing we can do is put a new filter on it, fill it with fresh fluid, and cross your fingers. It should move. I don't know how well it's going to shift, but the owner is aware of that, and this is worth trying before replacing the transmission. Alright, so the same 6 millimeter socket also works for removing the little level tube. So it's going to come out separately. There it is. It's red or orange. And here we go. I'm going to drain the rest of this junk out and take the pan off. See if the filter is completely plugged up. One thing that kind of sucks about these transmissions is that you can only drain about 2 quarts, and it takes 7 for a dry fill. So, we're going to change the filter out, then we're going to run it for a bit, then we're going to do the same thing, drain and refill. So we at least have 4 quarts of fresh fluid and 3 quarts of old fluid, and I think hopefully that'll work. Alright, I got all 18 10mm bolts out for the pan, and it detaches very easily. Let's try not to spill too much here. Now I think it's caught on the subframe. Oh, there we go. There's the rest of the junk fluid. Let that drip out. So far, not too big of a mess. And then we have to get this filter off. So here's a new filter. It is aftermarket, F337 Federated Auto Parts. 2 bolts. It looks the same as the one on the car. There's the filter media. So it sucks up the fluid through this hole, passes it through the filter, and there's the intake. Comes with a new O-ring. Let's get the old filter off. Alright, so I got the 2 bolts out. Let's see if this sucker will be friendly. Alright. You see how much fluid came out of there? Filter is definitely restricted because otherwise it would have drained out through the filter. We can inspect that. Let's put this in the pan for now. Let that drain out, and I have some hope. Alright, well, there is quite a bit of silvery paste everywhere, but no big chunks or anything, so I think we should be in good shape. Silly design, the drain plug, you have that much more fluid that you could have drained if they made the drain plug actually flush with the bottom of the pan. I don't know why they do this. It's only a partial, very partial drain and fill. This, the filter, this is the intake side. This is the, or rather, this is the intake side. It looks absolutely disgusting in there. So, we got the new one on. Let's clean out the pan, fill it with fresh fluid, and see if this thing actually moves. Alright, we got the pan all cleaned out. The magnets are clean as well, those 2 right there. And the filter kit comes with a rubber gasket versus a metal, gasket. And the easiest way to put it on is actually to put the bolts through the rubber, and it holds the bolts while we install the whole pan. So let me install it, and we'll fill it up with some fresh synthetic fluid. Alright, so we're going to pour the old fluid. This is used transmission fluid jug, and I want to see how much we drained out. We're going to put the same amount in, plus a little bit. Should be good to go. This stuff is nasty. Probably the worst transmission fluid by color that I've ever seen. Transmission fluid is never supposed to be black and opaque. Okay. So, you can see, a little less than 3 quarts right there. So at least 2.5 quarts, maybe 2 and... We can put in 3, I mean, a little bit of extra won't hurt. Well, sure, it would be easier if they gave you a dipstick, but not terrible. Just prop up a funnel. We'll pour in 3 quarts from the big jug. Alright, so I poured in just under 3 quarts. Let's put in the fill plug, start this thing up and see if it engages in gears, clear all the codes out, and take it for a test drive if it's happy. Alright, moment of truth. Let's fire it up. I don't hear any bad sounds. Oh yeah, good engagement, and traction control's not happy, but it's going forward. Very good. So I'm not sure if the forward gears will come back to life completely. Let me scan the whole thing for codes, clear them out. We don't hear that pump sound anymore, which is very promising. So it's got to be better, but will it be as good as new? Maybe, maybe not. The only way to find out is to take it for a test drive. Alright, so in the transmission, the only two codes that were set before were these pressure control solenoid A and D performance. So I'm just going to clear all the codes out. We have 4 permanent codes in OBD, in the OBD mode. Those will clear as you drive the car. So I'm going to keep the scanner plugged in. Let me put the wheels back on. We'll take this baby for a rip. So before putting the front wheel on, or I put it on, and I have a habit of, if the car's jacked up, just wiggle the wheels, see if they're not going to fall off. This one is very loose. Look at what's going on with this tie rod end. So I'll move it. Guys, the nut is moving in the knuckle. That's weird. Let's take the nut off and see if something's messed up in there. See if we can tighten it up. They're kind of crazy. Let's see what's going on here. Can we even unscrew it? Can we screw it in? Nope. Still loose as hell. I'm going to try to stick a fork in there to preload this so I can unscrew this nut. So I'm preloading the whole suspension by the tie rod. Now, not recommended, but just use your head. And the nut is still not moving on the threads. This is insanity. Did they weld it? I don't know what's going on. So I hammered the tie rod back in. The seat seems fine. There's no more wobble, but see the gap between the nut and the knuckle? But I can't get the nut off. So what do you do? Alright, I got the sucker off. I just ground sideways with the angle grinder, and then it finally let loose. So it was just seized down there. Let me see if I have a replacement, and we'll torque it to spec, and at least this wheel should be non-wobbly. Alright, good news. Found an exact replacement. Just lube that up. Let's see if this sucker will... Yeah, no problem. Alright, let's see if we can torque the spec here. Very good. See it? Got in there. Let me... That cotter pin should fit right through. Solid. Alright, moment of truth. Now our wheels won't fall off. Hopefully our transmission will shift. Let's see how it goes. Let's see if we can go forward. It goes back just fine. No noises. Uh-oh. Still not good going forward though. Maybe something will kick in. Still hear the pump whining and cavitating. Looks like we have 6 codes in the transmission here. Pressure control solenoid A performance stuck off. Solenoid D performance stuck off. Solenoid A, solenoid D. So A and D. Same codes as before, 746, 2714. I don't know if there is a readout for the actual line pressure. No. AT oil temperature. Solenoid status. Unfortunately, no beans. Well, I got the front wheels jacked up. How do we turn off traction control? Unplug an ABS sensor. I don't see a special button. Let's go forward. Is it going to shift? Okay, so it shifted into a higher gear. So maybe it's just first gear that's affected. You can hear the fluid getting through there. It's not shifting into higher gear. Obviously it's not happy. Traction off, release parking brake. But it did shift into a higher gear once. Let's see, let's restart it. Oh, you hear that pump sound again. Oh, we see a little smoke coming out from under the hood. This transmission is burning up.